And happy Thursday night to everyone. This is Futures Brazil, 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, June 25th. Hope everybody's doing great. And appreciate everybody. Pretty good turnout to the live video, walking video I posted the day before yesterday when I was up north, just kind of randomly talking about the markets. That was really an impulse. I was out taking my walk and I just figured I'd go live. So I appreciate that. That actually gets more views than my regular video. So figure that. So maybe I'll try to do a little bit more of that to get some more viewership. But before we get started tonight, make sure you, of course, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. And any questions or comments, leave them all down below. And I appreciate it. So we'll jump right in and take a quick look. I mentioned on the walking video that I was using a 2-hour time frame and a 34 period look back at the CSI on the CSI indicator. So we'll take a look at that. In the meantime, let's just take a fast look at futures in these grain markets. It's been pretty quiet trading for me, anyways. The only one I did take soybeans during the session earlier. You can see my entry right here, and I just closed it now at 8 o'clock when the evening session opened. Now this very well may keep going up, but you can see we came back up to this old resistance area here. But overall, this market looks fairly bullish, right? I mean, we had this big downturn going. We smashed through here, kind of took out old, market structure, came back with this really choppy corrective move, and then we had strong impulsive move up today. And when I saw this kind of starting, that's when I took the long, and I did. It was a little bit late in the day when I got that entry. I think it was after 10 o'clock, but I forgot to close it before the market closed today. So I took a slightly smaller profit than I would if I had remembered. But like I said, I probably could hold it, but I don't like holding these grain trades overnight. So we'll see what happens. And certainly there'll be plenty of time to re-enter it. Because if this is just an uptrend starting now, it's going to go a long way. I mean, you can see it's at least back to these old highs. Okay, so that was the only grain market trade, the grain trade I took today. And so we'll just kind of leave that one alone. If we look at some of these other grain market, again, this is the 2-hour chart. Here is soybean oil. Kind of looks the same, right? Failed to put in a new low, or maybe kind of an equal low, and then broke higher. So again, back to resistance though. So we'll see if we can get that to push through. The soybean meal really is a little bit of the outlier here. It's not really making any progress. It's not really going and making any new lows right here, but it's certainly not breaking higher. So, and this is soybean. No, this is corn. And again, we've got market structure sitting up here. So yes, we had some aggressive move, but I'm not saying that that's a return to a bull market, but we'll see what happens there. And with wheat, again, we were coming down pretty strong, put in this new low, then smashed higher, and now we've gone lower again. So let's see, if this continues to work lower here, back to new lows. If this was just kind of like a big corrective move, but this is very out of proportion to the rest of these corrections. Well, I guess not so much compared to this one, the first one here. So anyways, we'll see what happens. I'm very choosy lately about these grain trades. I sometimes I go days without taking a trade. It just has to be the right setup. Okay. All right. So that's enough of that. Let me just switch the. Okay. So here we are. Basically, again, looking at the CSI indicator. 34 period look back on the 2-hour chart. And the interesting thing about this, because this is kind of a momentum indicator. This it's amazing that this actually, even with assets like grains, that this actually shows you some pretty good moves. The way I have these colors going is that the first line, the kind of the aqua line in a Forex pair would be the first pair. And in the second currency in the pair would be this purple. And for currency futures, the purple line is the DXY in all cases compared against the DXY, and the aqua line is the currency futures. In this case, this is euro futures. So this aqua line is the euro. This purple line is the DXY. And you can see here, using the 2-hour chart. Actually, we're on the 4-hour, so we need to go back a little bit. Our last 2-hour trade was here, which was back last Wednesday, and we've kind of been in a downtrend ever since. So that's how I'm basing these trades now. And again, it's not going to give me a lot of trades, but when you do get a signal, they should be good. What I was saying is that this actually works using the on grains too. And I'm not exactly sure what it's looking at because it's not coded for these markets. It's just kind of an aside. But if you look at this, there's a sell signal right here, purple one breaking above the blue, and price goes down. We have a buy signal here, right? Breaking through, going up. I'm actually surprised it even works on these because I don't have it coded for grains. So I'm not exactly sure what it's even looking at. But anyways, that's just kind of a notable thing here that I might actually just be able to use this on grains too. In addition, that template I had on there a minute ago is the 21 and 34 moving average. So this is something I'll look at. But anyways, so no trades on the currency futures. We just walked through those. We've got some pretty good trends going on right now, but there's no new trades here. And so we'll just sit and wait and see if we can get some moves the other way. Okay, and so now jumping over to currency, to Forex. Again, very, very simple, right? 2-hour chart, you can see 34 period look back. And again, we're just looking for crosses and deflections, continuations. And by using the 2-hour chart, it's still a pretty short time frame, but it just gives you that little bit of extra signal filtering versus the 1-hour chart, which can generate a lot of false signals. So it's still more reactive, obviously nimble than a 4-hour chart, but it's not as loose as the 1-hour. But it still gives me the opportunity to take some pretty good trades. Again, nothing's perfect. And again, I never trade these things in a vacuum. I'm always looking at market structure, and I will go to the higher time frame before I take a trade. So if I'm looking to take a buy, for instance, I will go out to the daily chart or the weekly chart and just make sure that I'm not buying into a major level. Let's say I'd gotten a buy signal over here somewhere, which I didn't, but let's say I did. Going out to the higher time frame, you can see that, this is kind of like a triple top here, so I wouldn't necessarily want to buy into that. But this is a great sell signal because, again, kind of had that triple top up here. Price actually failed to get back to this high. This one failed to get back to this high. So you can see every time it came up here, the market was getting weaker and weaker. And finally, it rolled over right here, okay, and gave us an entry. This was a bit of a late entry down here, but ultimately, this probably will go pretty far. So, I mean, that's the trade-off with it, is that sometimes you're going to get later entries, but sometimes you're going to get, pretty early entries too. I'm willing to leave a little bit on the table for a stronger signal. I'm perfectly fine with that. So, all right. So, I'm not going to go through every pair right now. That is the basic methodology. And, in terms of where I'm at right now, I only have, let me go to Funded Trader Plus. I don't know why this is not loading. My open positions, kind of strange. Aha, there we go. So you can see I only have 2 positions on right now. I've got, The Euro CAD and Euro Yen short, they're both in a little bit of profit. The Euro Yen, not so much. It's been kind of chopping around here for quite a while. Um, but so I need to take a look at this one a little bit more. So let's go back to Euro Yen over here and see what we got. So here's again the 2-hour chart. I'm going to hold this because this looks pretty bearish. This is very choppy price move up. We do have in this case, which is the yen, starting to bend back higher again, and the euro continue to drift low, which should cause this to continue to move down here. And so I will. Wow, that was my YouTube channel I follow with that noise. So I just muted it. So so I'm going to continue to hold this and out to the daily chart, probably at least back to these old lows right here. Kind of trading in a range, but I think it'll get back near these lows. So that'll at least be my initial target. Okay. And so, yeah, basically what we're doing with this, guys, is just looking at crossover signals. Here's a potential long right now, actually, in the pound AUD. You can see the blue crossing through here. It looks like we have pretty bullish price action, higher low, higher low. Oh, this is the daily chart. I'm sorry. We need to go to the 2-hour. And actually, there was a long entry, but it was way back here. There's currently no entry right now. So we're going to just stick to our plan and on the 2-hour chart. And I'm just going to click through a few of these and just see if we got anything cooking right now. And Aussie yen, probably a short hit. Now, this is a continuation trade. Price was going down. We had the initial sell signal here. Now, I like to see these kind of come together, like and kind of touch and then deflect away for a continuation. But I noticed with the 34, especially on this time frame, you tend to get this gap right in here. But you can see, basically that there's a deflection away. We are in a downtrend. You can see the price moving down. So this is probably a real-time short right now that I probably will take when the video is done. I got a little bit of time. No need to rush into it. And so we'll just continue on here. Aussie NZD, maybe a short there too, but I don't really like the way the indicator looks, so I'll probably hold off on that. And I don't like all these bottoms here on the Aussie Swiss, so I'm not trading that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't just look at the indicator, I look at what the price action doing. Here's a nice potential long signal on the CAD yen. Now, this would go against the yen because the yen is strengthening a little bit, but that is, kind of a legit long signal here. Although the market has been pretty bearish. We go out to the higher time frame, not really looking too impressive for a long. So it's probably one I'll watch a little bit before I take it, but I will put it on my watch list as a potential long. Here is a new potential early on short here on Swiss yen. Again, I'd probably want a little bit more out of that one first, especially since it's the Asian session. We could be just intertwining here. You can see we had a little long and a short, so not really too keen on that, but I'll probably set an alert on that one. And nothing there. And yeah, that's about a euro yen we just looked at. And there's euro kiwi, pound Aussie we looked at. Okay, so we pretty much went through everything. So you can see a couple of potential opportunities setting up. There's pound Canadian, potential short opportunity there out to the higher time frame. Certainly I could make a case for a downtrend. We had the strong move up. We had this move down, which initially would look corrective because then price started going back up. But you can see we failed to put in a new high, and then we had multiple wicks right here just showing price rejection, could not push the price higher, didn't even get back to the old high. So this is a potential short too. And so you can see we do have some potential opportunities. So you can see it's a very simple method. It's 34 CSI. I'm just looking for crossovers, for trend direction changes or deflections, what I'm calling deflections, where the two come to, like, there's an existing trend, the indicator, the market pulls back, the two lines kind of come back together temporarily and then bounce off each other, kind of like the analogy I always use is that if you take two magnets and you put the positive pole against the positive pole, they'll push off on each other. And so it's kind of the same theory. It's that repelling magnet theory. And so that would be a trend continuation, which is what I was just showing you on one of those pairs a minute ago. All right. So, yeah. So that's really how I trade it. And, that's about it. So I don't want to belay this video. I didn't make one earlier today because there wasn't really a lot going on. I did not open any new Forex positions today. Those two I have running have been on for like a day or two now, and they're not really doing much, as you can see. But I didn't take anything during the session today. There wasn't anything that I liked. I did take that one futures trade that we already reviewed, and that was it. That was the only trade I took today. And I'm already out of it. So I'll look at some of these, and we'll see if there's anything I might want to take overnight. And I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another review and see where we're at with all this stuff. All right. Again, any questions, comments, leave them down below. If you guys like the walking and talking for YouTube lives, let me know. We can pick a random subject. I was going to do one on prop firms and brokers and, just being careful with that stuff. I did kind of allure to that a little bit in the walking video yesterday or the day before yesterday. So, we can just pick some random topics since I won't be in front of my charts to actually show any charts, but we can just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And I can see my camera is frozen here. So hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to leave it there. Oh, it came back. All right. So I hope you all have a great night. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Any questions, comments, leave them down below, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night.